No, unfortunately, this isn't going to be a video about duds. It's more about how I have a couple of videos that are a bit underdeveloped that I'd like to play around with, that I'd like to throw up anyway. So if you would be privy to some of my unfinished thoughts, I'm going to lay them out here for you. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for coming in. We gotta treat ourselves more often like we're children. If you don't want to do something, if you want to avoid doing a bad habit, make that bad habit as hard to do as possible. Put so many small little spaces, little obstacles between you and it. And at some point your brain's gonna be like, I don't care about this nearly enough. Like if you have no sweets in the house, no chocolate, no sugar, no candy, you're not gonna leave the house, walk the 10-15 minutes to the bodega, get some chocolate and come back, are you? Well, if you have, then you got the walk-in, you spent currency, you've earned it, really, I would say. But otherwise, making that stuff as inaccessible as possible to you is the key to making meaningful change. I wish I could put away my bed. I wish I lived on a futon, actually. The ability to not be able to just relax in it, or otherwise have to stand and do stuff might be interesting. Make yourself miserable. That's the point of this video. I find it hard to use Twitter on the computer, right? It has to be a lot more intentional, and you could put up extensions to make it more clear and legible and easier for you. Same with YouTube. Much easier to zone out on your phone than on your laptop. So I've endeavored to put timers on my phone, yes, but also have an app that gives me bonuses, that lets me plant little trees when I block it for an hour or more, just from wanting to. If I want to spend more time being social, blocking it out. We often focus on how much we can make a task easy if we want to do it. And I think there's value to that. I think there's also value in how can we make this bad habit for us harder to do? How can we make it more difficult to do? That marshmallow study, right? There was a study conducted on children wherein children were put against a marshmallow. They had to fight to the death. No, a child was meant to resist a marshmallow on the table, and if they waited for long enough, they would have 2 marshmallows. 2's better than 1. There is a double in that. The kids who did not eat the marshmallow didn't eat it because they were otherwise occupying themselves. The marshmallow wasn't there, it wasn't even an option. Or rather, perhaps it was the option of most resistance. And we need to add more resistance in our lives, because you're already working hard to do the things you want. If you work hard to do the things you don't want to do, your brain will trend towards what you want, right? Am I making sense? Often we do bad things because that thing we don't want to do is the path of least resistance. It's easy for us to flow into it, like water down a stream. It won't go back on itself. It'll just keep flowing. To make it stop flowing, you've got to make it hard for it to flow the way it wants to. A little bit of room noise for everyone. I've been really enjoying waking up early. When I had to do it for school, for early classes, it was a nightmare because the dread of going to bed and waking up the next day tarnished the sleep. Even when I had a full 8 hours, when I knew I had to get them, I felt as though there was this weight on my shoulders that I needed to shuck in order to feel any kind of good. And even still, I overloaded myself with so much tea that it could be graciously called a coffee. But no, recently, as of 2024, specifically I believe around May of 2024, I've been waking up early. That is around 7 a.m. in the morning. Naturally. It's something that I cannot really control. I will blink sleepiness out of my eyes and suddenly be surrounded by what is the dew of a morning sun. No, I'm just absolutely wet. Sun rays aren't dew. All of this to say, I don't know, I just like the mornings. Good morning. I think what I like most about the morning is how quiet it is. How you don't really have anyone accosting you at this early, unless you're working a job this early, in which case I'm sorry for you. I guess the difference between a morning that I'm enjoying and the mornings of my youth is that I get to choose, right? To a certain extent, I get to choose what I do in the morning and how I get to spend it. I spent this morning doing the dishes. I spent some time journaling in the sun. I had a breakfast and a coffee on the steps of my dormitory building. It was all really picturesque, and I tried to take it as slow as possible. I've been doing the exercises before my editing because I thought that it wouldn't interfere with my creative thought process that way, but I'm trying to restructure a lot of things. Just try things, you know? Just try things and see where they wind up and end up. So we're just doing this now, and I mean, I'm not noticing any particular sort of stagnancy or stumbling of myself. Just a full-on sense of awakeness. It's 10 o'clock now since I woke up. 3 hours have passed. Had my coffee, had my breakfast. I wonder if it's because I'm exercising so much control, right? Because I have the ability to make such sweeping, large movements in my morning, in my routine. Most people, when they wake up, they are waking up to do something. They are sprinting, getting ready, putting on clothes, taking showers. I do take showers, just not in the mornings. I've been realizing as of late that I am a morning person, which is something I would have never said growing up. That I'm a morning person so long as the morning is absolutely to my whims and to my controls. I'm able to curate what a morning looks like for me at this age, at this time. I'm definitely a morning person. I do my best work between the hours of 7 and 11. And then I stream for all of you on Twitch. I think it's really wonderful that I'm getting this opportunity to take an inventory of myself. That's something that I think we don't very much do often. How often do we get to really sit down with ourselves and ask ourselves, what are the things we need? What are the things we want? How can we structure that? In fact, I wanted to make this its own video because I wanted to lead with the self-inventory. But knowing yourself and knowing about yourself is how you take care of yourself. If you would have me, if you would allow me to, I would love to go through a couple of questions, and I would love to hear your responses to them, and I can answer them myself if you'd like as well. I guess there are a couple that come to mind. The questions go as follows. What are my goals? What makes me happy? Pardon me. How about we start with this? What are my goals and what does the future I want to live in look like? I think there's this level of miasma and aimlessness that comes with a lot of us nowadays, since we all walked in step to the beat and drum of people who said they knew better for us and didn't. So in lieu of that, in lieu of dropping their dream, what dream do we have for ourselves? What can we operate by? What goals do you have? What kind of things do you want to accomplish? If I were to read from mine, from this little book that I've got, it says, I want to have a successful YouTube and Twitch career, which is great. That's nice. I want to learn graphic design. I want to be emotionally resilient. That's a high one, because I'm a bit of a BB, right? I want to be a better voice actor and singer. I'd like to be healthy, and I'd like to learn a language. More concretely, by 2025, I'd like to get 1,000 on both my Twitch and my YouTube. I'd like to have produced a secret project that I'm working on. Have assets for a debut. And I have people who I'd like to become, right? I mean, to that extent, I have direction now. I might not have had direction however many years ago, but now I have things that I require of myself, the end goals to chase. And having that end goal, reminding yourself why you do the things that you do, whatever that may be, does urge you towards that thing much closer. I recall Dr. K speaking to the problems that we have to broach the things we want to do. I would do this, but I've got to do this. I would do this, but I have to do this. And their answer to that was do it. Having goals is going to suddenly accost you with a whole bunch of problems. I want to have a successful career. What is success? How do I define that? What things do I need to know? Who do I need to study to gain success? To be emotionally resilient, what things of myself do I have to work on? Why can't you be emotionally resilient? Why can't you do the things you need to do? Oh, I can't be this because I have this. Well, that's the first thing you've got to solve, right? The reason why you can't do something, accomplish something, Dr. K said, is the next step that you've got in order to accomplish the thing you'd like. I can't learn a language, I don't have the time. Well, how can we best utilize the time you've already got? Or what things can we cut that allow you to do this? And I understand that to a certain degree I am blessed that I was able to curate my morning in the first place, right? Ooh, head pat me.